We're so glad you guys are here with us. We are doing a Christmas series. We are going to be learning about the story of Jesus and why Christmas is so important. But first, we're going to do a song. Today, we are learning about the three wise men and their journey to seeing Jesus after he was born. Far away in the east, three wise men saw the very same star
The star that God had put in the sky when Jesus was born, they knew it was a sign. A baby king had been born. They had been waiting for this star. They knew it would come. "He's here!" they shouted. "He's here!" They packed up their camels and wrapped gifts for the baby. They brought the most precious treasures of all, frankincense, gold, and myrrh. They set off their long journey to Jerusalem. They rode their camels night and day and night for hours that turned into days, that turned into weeks, that turned into months and months, until at last they finally reached Jerusalem. Jerusalem was by far the most important city for miles, and as anyone can tell you, that's where a palace would be, and kings are born in palaces. So that's where they went. But they were in for a surprise. They went to see King Herod. Surely he'd know where the baby was. But he didn't. In fact, he didn't even like the sound of a new king. It made him angry. He didn't want anyone to be king except him. But Herod's advisors told the 3 wise men what was written in their books, what God had said about the baby king. "Go to Bethlehem. That's where you'll find him." So the 3 wise men followed the star out of the big city, along the road, into the little town of Bethlehem. And sure enough, there in the town of Bethlehem, they found baby Jesus. The journey that had begun so many centuries before had led these 3 wise men here, to a little town, to a little house, to a little child, to the king God had promised David all those years before. But the child was a new kind of king. Though he was the Prince of Heaven, he had become poor. Though he was the mighty God, he had become a helpless baby. The king hadn't come to be the boss. He had come to be a servant, to bring love.
If you are rich, you can buy anything you want. If you're important, you can have bodyguards. And if you're popular, your fans might want to take pictures with you wherever you go. Most of us would enjoy being rich, important, or even popular, at least for a while. It would be hard for us to give that up. But when Jesus left heaven to come to earth as a baby, he gave up a lot. Jesus had everything he could want, all of heaven's glory. And he was God, so he could do anything. And then he gave it up. God says in the Bible, he did not think that being equal with God was something to be held on to. He gave up his place with God and made himself nothing. He was born as a man and became like a servant. Jesus humbly did what God wanted him to do. He came as a baby to be the king of God's people. But where was he born? Not in a palace. Jesus was born in a stable where animals are kept. His bed was an animal's feeding trough filled with hay. Are there kids you look up to because they are cheerleaders or get all A's or play football or wear cute clothes? Or are you someone other kids want to be like? Whenever you start feeling better than other kids or wanting to be rich, important, or popular, stop. Think about Jesus. He is the king who left glory in heaven to be God with us. Follow his example and be humble too. In our story, we saw that the 3 wise men bowed down to Jesus, a baby. This was a big deal because these 3 people were very important. But they didn't care. They didn't care about status. They only cared about God and loving him and honoring that baby. And that's what we need to do. It's not about how great we are. It's about how great God is. And we can trust him in everything. What's super cool about God coming down and being a baby is that he was human, just like us. He knows what it's like to be human. He knows what it's like to live in this world just as a regular person. So we can come to him with whatever we're struggling with, whatever we're thinking, whatever emotions we have, and we can know that Jesus knows what's going on. He knows what it's like to be here, to have emotions, to live with people, and to not just be God who's greater than everyone. He is so good, and we're able to relate to him. We love you guys, and we have loved going over the Christmas story with you guys. So we're going to pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you that you came down as a baby and that we can trust you, that you know what it's like to live on earth and to be just a regular human. Thank you that we can trust you in whatever we're doing. In your name we pray. Amen. Bye!